Hello guys. So today we're going to see how we can create an workflow and our workflow statuses, transition and post function, trigger condition, and how we can assign to our project. So first let's check what's the workflow it's currently using. Go to project setting. Then we'll go to workflow. So you can see currently all my issue type are using this workflow. So let's say my requirement is, let's say bug issue type will use a specified different workflow other from this issue type. So for that we have to create a new workflow, and you just have to remember that creating a new workflow you should have system admin access, but for adding the workflow status and transition or any post function you should have project admin. Project admin can do the addition of transition and workflow status. So for that, let's go to workflow. The shortcut is you just click on double G. So you can see it is there. So just search for workflows. Then it will open. Let's go to the workflows. So you can see I have one active workflow which is using currently in my project. So I'll create a new workflow that will be used by bug issue type. So click on create. I'll give that bug workflow. You can put your description as per your convenience, so you will able to understand why you created this workflow. Let's say I'll create an ad. Okay, so you can go to diagram, so better you will able to understand. So here currently by default the open is created. So if you don't want open, let's say I want to do, so what will do, I will add one status, let's say to do, and this one, if you check this one, right, allow all status to transition, that means this workflow status is available throughout your all workflow cycles. So let's say you are in progress, but if you choose this one as allow all transition, then to do will be available throughout all your workflow. So I don't want that, so I'll just create to do. Okay, so I want my initial workflow to go to open, so I'll just change this transition to do and save it. So my starting point will be to do workflow, and just delete this one. So you can just remove this status. Okay, then I want in progress. So you can see in progress is there. I'll add in progress. Let's add all status. So in progress, then I want review. So you can see review is not present inside my project. So it is asking for you for new status. So you can create a new status, click on the new status, and you can just add. So if you want all transition, let's say I'll put all transition, so then it will be available throughout your workflow cycle to any issue. I'll just add review. So you can see it is a new status, it is not mapped to any category, so need to do the mapping. So here the category is to do, in progress, and done. So you can see the color scheme, so we'll just map it to in progress. So now review is created. Now my next status should be done, so we can close. So done, I'll add done, and I want a transition all status like cancelled, so I can cancel a ticket at any given point of time. So I'll allow all status transition. So now you can see all is added, so it is available for all status. So once we create a ticket, we will see how it is available in your screen. So now I'll add in transition. So I want to do to in progress. So my ticket should be to do to in progress, then in review, then done. So I'll just add a transition, let's say from to do to in progress. So I'll put in progress as transition name. So here you can see the transition properties. So like your properties, trigger, condition, validator, and post function. We'll go to that later. Let's first add all transition. So now I'll transition from in progress to review. Then we'll give the name as review, and from review to done. Now it is all done. Okay, so now let's say I want to add few condition and post function to done transition. So let's go to that. So properties we basically use to, let's say you want only this particular group will edit this transition, or it will be available for that particular group. So we can just add the key and value here. Let's say you can add key as Jira dot your, let's say, assignee dot edit, and you can put false. So assignee you will not able to edit during this transition. Okay, then we'll go to trigger. Is basically if you want to call any third party API or trigger any third party workflows or anything that is third party, then you can use the trigger. And condition will go condition, let's say you want only admin will have the access to do the transition. So there may be requirement to specific role who only can do this transition. So let's say if I add, you can see different condition are there. You can configure as per your requirement. Let's say I'll just add project in role. So let's say if you have only admin role, you should be able to do it. So I'll add. So it should not allow me to go to done status because currently I removed myself from admin. Then we'll go to validator. So let's say you want to specific field to be filled up. Let's say you want description to be mandatory. It cannot be kept as blank. So for that, you need to put an condition here. So you can put validator. So if you see, so these are different condition you can add. You can compare dates and all those things, but we will just add field required. So field must not be empty during this transition. So let's say I will add, I'll check assignee. So assignee, it should be assigned to you, or I can, let's say I will choose something more simpler, like let's say description. So I'll put description as, let's say description is mandatory. So it will give me error as description is mandatory. So I'll just add. Now in the post function, I want, let's say, my resolution to be done once the ticket move to done status. Or you can add different post function. So post function is basically once the workflow transition is done. If post the workflow transition, if you want to add any field or update any field value, then you just need to put the configuration. So let's say if you want to assign to current user once the workflow transition is done, just check here and put the appropriate user in the field. So let's say we are just update the issue field. So update issue field is for basically for your system field. So update issue custom field, let's say we have some custom field in our project, we just want to update those values, then we have to choose this one. So we'll just update that resolution should be done. So we'll add this one. So you can see now all my condition, validator and post function are added to my workflow. Okay. So now, as in the previous video we have discussed, we created one workflow scheme and added to our project. So let's go to the project and we'll add this workflow, default workflow which is created to bug issue type. So for that, go to project setting. Then we'll go to workflows. Okay, so this one we are currently using, so we just need to add the workflow to the bugs. For that, click on add workflow, add existing, and you can see test project bug workflow is there. So just select that one. Sorry, bug workflow is there, bug workflow. Just select that one, then click on next, and you can select this issue type. So if you want to select multiple issue type to be used for that workflow, you can select other issue type also, but for us, we'll just select bug. So this is the issue we're getting because this workflow scheme is being currently, if you see in the workflow scheme, it is currently used in different project. So you have to keep in the mind that if it is being used by multiple project, we cannot do it by ourselves as a project admin. So what you have to do, you have to go to login as system admin, then this project you have to remove, or you can create, or you can just copy this one. Okay, so now it will be inactive. So you can see copy of TP simplified work stream. So because if you change this work scheme, so it will impact other project. So it will not allow you as a project admin to change it. So what we'll do, we'll just change the scheme because you just copied. So we'll just use the copy of this one. You need to associate, and once the migration is done, then we just need to acknowledge, then it will be a dedicated workflow scheme for our project. So as a project admin, you should able to edit it. Okay, so let's try to add the workflow. Let's see if it is giving us error or not. So let's choose bug workflow. Click on next and choose bug. So now it is added because we created a separate workflow scheme for this project. So if you go here and refresh this one, then you should see, you can see here, this workflow scheme is only used by this project. Now it is not this project is using this workflow. So as a project admin, now we will be able to edit all the workflows. Then once we map, right, then we have to publish. Okay, so now just click on associate. So first let it migrate. So once migration is done, click on acknowledge. So you can see your workflows have been published. Now bug will use this workflow. So let's create a bug and check. So bug 2, and I will keep all other fields because those are optional, and click on create. So you can see it is created. Let's go there. Okay, so this is my current workflow status to do. It is only allowing me to go to in progress and cancelled, because in the workflow we mentioned cancelled is all status. So it will be available throughout your workflow cycle. But for to do to in progress, we add the transition. So it is showing us in progress. So let's go to the next status. You can see here, right? It is only showing me review and cancelled. So let's go to review. Okay. So here, this is the point where we put the condition previously that only admin will be able to go to done status. So it is not showing me currently. It should show if I have a admin role. So it's only showing me as a cancelled. So what will go, let's just change this one. Go to the workflow and let's remove this condition, then it should show. Let's edit. So here you can see the done. Okay, so let's say I'll just remove this condition. Okay, let's remove it. Now it's removed. So just remember, if you doing any changes to the workflow, you need to publish. Otherwise, it will not take effect. So if you want to save and copy for future purpose, just click on yes. Otherwise, just no. So it will publish. Okay. So let's see if it is showing me currently the done status or not. Okay. So you can see here done is there because I removed the condition. So I click on done. But you can see here we put the validation, right? Description is mandatory. But here the description is blank, so it will not allow you. So if you remember, we put from a review to done, right? Let's go back there. So validator, what did you put? Description should be mandatory. So it's giving me, let's click go to done again. So it's giving me description is mandatory. So transition is failed. So what we'll do, let's add something in description. So let's say testing workflows and save. So now it should allow me to go to done. Okay, you can see here it's done. Okay, so now it's completed. So this is how a workflow you can create, update, add transition, add status to an workflow, and you can add post function, any validation to that. So that's for today's guys. So let's meet for the next topic. In the next topic, we are going to learn more on issue type, how to create an issue type, and how to create an issue and map it to correct issue type. Thank you guys. I hope this video will help. Please comment if you have any query.